And then you just want to lie down. On your back. And just take a few really nice big breaths, inhaling through your nose and out through your mouth. See if you can rest a little bit at the end of your exhale after your last big exhale. And then continue breathing in and out through your nose. And consider with each inhale what it is that you need from today. And with each exhale, what are you prepared to let go of today? With each inhale, bringing love to yourself. And with each exhale, letting go of approval from others. Then you want to begin to wriggle your hands, your feet, your fingers, and your toes. And as if you're doing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star with your fingers, and try and do the same little twinkles with your toes, even though that's much harder. See if you can get some movement into the toes. And then also reaching your arms up and overhead, really flexing your feet, really spreading your fingers, and then really spreading your toes and breathing in through the spaces in between your fingers and in between your toes. And then exhale, really soften everything back down onto the ground. Slide your arms slowly down by your sides and begin to walk your feet in so that your knees are pointing up towards the sky. And then you just want to press your feet slightly into the floor and begin to press your lower back slightly into the floor as well. And then you want to release the pressure through your feet and notice how that rolls your pelvis slightly back more into a neutral position. And then again, begin to apply some pressure through the soles of your feet and begin to press and round your lower back into the floor. And you just want to do that movement for a few rounds, then slightly releasing the pressure through your feet and allow your spine to roll back into a kind of a natural curve. Checking in with your knees, make sure that your knees are as wide as your hips. And then again, just pressing the feet into the floor, toes, and releasing, feeling your spine realigning. One more time. Then you want to add the same thing, but let your head rock as well. So you want to begin to add some pressure through your feet. You want to let your spine roll downwards, the lower back rolling towards the floor. And maybe let your chin slightly almost lift as your head slightly rolls over towards the crown of your head. And then as you begin to release, let your chin slightly tuck back in. So you're trying to mimic the movement in the lower back to the movement in your head. So as you press your feet into the ground and connect the lower back to the floor, you also let your head roll slightly up and back, connecting the crown of the head, or letting the crown of the head reach towards the back of your mat-ish. It's never going to reach completely, and then release it. And just doing that for a few more rounds. Working with what's called the primary and secondary curves of your spine. And then see what that does in the whole front belly area, especially your lower belly and pelvic floor. You might get a slight sense of engagement without you actually needing to engage or force anything. Just feel what happens. Are there any releases as you release the pelvis and the lower back away from the floor? Or what kind of sensations can you feel in your lower abdomen as you press the lower back into the floor? Do you get a sense of the muscles slightly engaging? Then you want to just find your neutral spine again and let your arms slide out to the sides, so quite wide. Take a breath and begin to reach through your fingertips and begin to lift the arms slightly up and off the floor. Let everything expand outwards, reaching further outwards. And then let everything soften back down onto the floor. And you're just going to do that movement for a few rounds. So as you inhale, you're going to reach your fingertips away from you, letting your hand unfold and letting your arm slightly lift in this quite static, long, expansive position. And then let everything soften and release back down as you exhale. And just feel what happens in your shoulders and your upper back as you become very expansive, and what happens when you release it. Then let your arms reach up and alongside your ears, just sliding them and kind of coming into a star-shaped position. You want to move your feet towards the edges of your mat. So the left foot to left edge and the right foot to the right edge. And then let your knees roll from one side to the other. And your arms are just completely relaxed. And then letting your nose and knees move in opposite direction from each other. So the nose goes to one side and the knees to the other. And you want to do it slowly and really move in rhythm Then we're going to add some breath. As you inhale, your knees going to float towards the sky. And as you exhale, your knees roll to one side. Inhale, the knees rolls towards your center, back up, and exhale, let them roll to the other side. And let's do that a few more rounds. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Then let your knees float back to the center. Let your feet come together. Let your arms come back down by your sides and hug your knees in to your chest. And actually just with your hands on your knees, you're going to draw tiny little circles over the base of your spine. And then again, coming back to breathing in love for yourself. And breathing out. The need for approval from others. And you can fill in others, whichever person or persons. And then also reversing those little circles. And then keeping your big toe joints together, begin to circle your knees outwards and inwards. And same thing, staying with that breath, with the inhaling and the exhaling. And as you inhale, breathing in all that you need from this moment. And exhale, letting go of whatever is not serving you today. Then you want to grab behind your thighs and either come and rock forwards and backwards, or you can roll onto one side. And then make your way up to sit with your legs crossed. And actually, let's do this together. Let's have your left shin in front of your right. So left shin in front of right. Take a breath in. And then begin to slowly walk your hands forwards, rounding out your spine. Take a breath there. Walk your left hand to the left side of your mat and place your right hand on top of your left and stay there for a breath. And walk your hands back to the center and back up so that you're back sitting upright, reaching your arms up towards the sky. Bring your right hand to your left knee and then your left hand to the floor behind you and look over your left shoulder. And then just play around with your head and with your neck. And you can draw kind of little semicircles with your chin tucking in. And then let the head roll towards your right. And then again, the chin tucks in and slowly let it roll toward your left. And if you find a little kind of line of pull along the way where you want to just stay and breathe for a moment, before rolling again. And then slowly back to the center. Place your hands on the floor behind you. You're going to press your knees down, let your pelvis lift, let your chest expand. Take a big breath in. Releasing your pelvis back down. You're going to bring your hands together in front of your heart. You're going to slowly move your left shin away from your right. Lift the leg up. You're going to wrap it around and behind you until you find a comfortable-ish position. And then same thing, you're just going to play around and you can be as intuitive as you want with this movement. What I like to do is kind of rock my left hip backwards and forwards. And then I find I get quite a nice hip opener. You can also rest your hands on your knees or shin. And then you can also continue playing around with your head and neck. Then find a position where you can lift your left leg back off the floor. Slowly slide it around to the front, slot it behind your right shin. That's it. And then you're sitting again. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And then slowly begin to walk your hands forwards. Take a breath. Right hand to the right corner of your mat. Place your left hand on top of your right. Take a breath there. Slowly walking your hands back up. Realigning your body. Place your, reach your arms up into the sky. And then your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. And then same thing, looking in the direction of the right side and then tucking your chin towards your chest and rolling your head to the left. And you're just going to do this kind of little semicircle. Then finding any little lines of pull, and if you need to stay there, breathe. Take a moment in the little tug so you can feel. You're going to bring your hands together in front of your heart. You're going to lift your right leg away from your left. you're going to reach the right leg all the way around and behind you, find a place. And then same thing, you want to just have a little exploration with your right hip. And you can either keep your hands together in front of your heart, you can bring your hands onto your knees or even onto your shin, and rolling that right hip kind of down and forwards. And at the same time, maybe playing around with your head. And then again, bringing your hands together in front of your heart, lifting your right leg up and away from the floor, wrapping it forwards, placing your feet both down on the ground, hands to the floor behind you, lifting pelvis up into the sky. Take a deep breath here. Slowly releasing back down. And then wrapping your feet to one side and coming onto all fours. And then you want to have your toes tucked, and we're just going to shift pelvis forwards and backwards for a few rounds. And stretching out the backs of your feet. And then maybe even walking your hands slightly in so that your knees come off the floor. Let your heels come towards the floor behind you. Some of you may even touch the floor, and then walking your hands forwards, releasing, and we're just going to do that for a few rounds. So walking your hands towards your knees until your knees maybe even come off the floor, let your spine round, and then walking your hands forwards, and then maybe even sticking tailbone in front of the head up into the sky. Have your breath there, and then rounding the spine, walking your hands back in, letting your knees float off, and maybe your heels come towards the floor, maybe even connect to the floor, depending on how tight or not tight your Achilles are. And then rolling forwards, walking your hands forwards. Again, lifting tail and head up. Big breath in, walking your hands and feet. Well, your hands back towards your feet is what I'm trying to say. Rounding your spine. And then from this position, you're going to slowly begin to lift your heels down to the ground and your sit bones up towards the sky. You want to let your hands walk on your legs to keep your spine safe, and then coming up to stand. Once you're standing, roll your shoulders or any kind of little movements that help you. And then arms spreading wide, really out to the sides like we did before. Then your left arm comes on top of your right, and you're kind of hugging yourself like that. And then tuck your chin into your chest and just stay here. Slowly letting your arms spread out to the sides, wide, big breath in. And then left arm on top of right, hugging yourself Again, let your chin tuck in. Letting your arms spread out to the sides and release back down. Roll your shoulders. Then just your right. And then just your left. And then your right the other way, front to back. And then your left the other way. And then see if you can do one circle at a time, right, left. And then reversing the circles. Now it gets a bit more confusing. Back to front, back to front. And then spreading arms big and wide up into the sky. So a little bit for our brains. Your right arm is going to go forwards and your left arm is going to go back. Then your arms are going to be quite wide in the middle as they arrive on the horizontal. And then your arms are going to go down and they're going to meet down by where your legs are. Then the left arm is going to continue forwards and the right arm is going to continue back until they both meet at the very top in the vertical plane. Are we all there? I think so. So again, right arm forwards, left arm back. Then they're going to meet down at the very bottom when they're by your sides. Then the left arm is going to go forwards and the right arm is going to go back. And then the arms are going to reach up by the sides of your ears. And you just want to do that for a few rounds slowly. So in theory, your arms are doing one big circle in opposite direction from one another. So really good for training our left and right brain. Then meet your hands at the very top. Then they're going to go the other way. So the left arm goes forwards and the right arm goes back. Your arms wide, then down by your sides. Right arm forward, left arm back. Arms going to meet up at the very top in the vertical plane. The right arm back, left arm forwards, arms down. Then right arm forwards, left arm back, arms up. Let's do one more of these. Then we want to do them quite slow and see if that's possible. So almost let them swing down and up. They swing down and up. Might be easier for some of you. You might find that easier. And or not. And then also going the other way, left arm forwards, right arm back. And doing a few of these arm swings. Arms are quite tired now, let them shake. Give your whole body a little bit of a shake out. Very good. So find your feet and close your eyes and just melt into the soles of your feet. And then maybe come slightly up, lifting your heel away from the floor and coming slightly up onto your tiptoes, taking a breath, and then slowly releasing your heels back down to the ground. We're just going to go up and down for a few rounds. And if you find it very disconcerting with your eyes closed, open your eyes and just look to the floor in front. Try and go up slowly and down slowly, not like me. Up slowly and then really fast down. See if you can control going up and down for a few rounds. Slowly up, slowly down. Then with your feet parallel, as wide as your hips, you're gonna let your heels come in towards the center. So kind of like a really tiny first position if you ever did ballet. And then let your heels slide back into parallel. And you just wanna do that movement. And you wanna try and squeeze in your inner thighs as near to each other and then let them flare away from each other. So the inner thighs are gonna squeeze from in here, the heels come together, and then the heels come apart. Easier not to do it on a yoga mat because it's quite sticky. And then easier with socks as well. And see how that is. Slowly squeezing them in and then let them spread out. One more time, squeezing them in and let them widen. The last one, you're going to squeeze them in. If you feel like I need to go a tiny little bit wider, do. And then trying to keep this engaged for as long as you can, coming up onto your tiptoes and then slowly back down. We're just going to do that for a few rounds. You can have your hands on your hips or you can let your arms hang down by your sides. You want to go slowly up and slowly down. You want to check in with your toes, see if they're crunching like mad, like that, or if they are nice and long. Want to try and keep them long if you can. Slowly up, slowly down. Slowly up and slowly down. 2 more times, slowly up and slowly down. Last one, lift and lower. You're going to stay in this position. You're going to bend your knees, but you want to try not to stick your bum out like that. You want to try and keep everything underneath you. Then from there, with the knees bent, you're going to come up onto your tiptoes. Then from there, you're going to lift all the way up into the sky. And then you're going to let your heels come back down onto the ground. So I'll do it with you from the front. Bend your knees onto your tiptoes. Going to slowly pull everything in and up, and then slowly lower your heels back down. You want to try and keep this inner line connected the best you can and engaged when you are lifting up towards the sky. So from here, you're going to pull everything in and then slowly release everything down, keeping your inner knees squeezed together. One more time, bend your knees. Coming onto your tiptoes, all the way up, squeezing in, lowering down, shaking, shake it out. Very good. We're going to do some warriors. So let's start with the left foot in front and your right foot a step back for warrior one. So your hips want to stay square to the front of your mat. So if you think of your right hip bone, you don't want to let it open out to the side. You want to try and keep your right hip bone with you and keep your right heel on the floor and bend your left knee. Then from there, you're going to reach your arms up by the sides of your ears. And then you want to slowly straighten your left knee and slowly bend into your left. We're just going to do that for a few rounds. Slowly straighten and slowly bend. You're going to reach your arms round to the front. You're going to slowly straighten your left leg. You're going to slowly bend your left knee. Slowly straighten, left, slowly bend. You're going to reach your arms up by the sides of your ears with a bent leg. Then you're going to straighten your leg and reach your arms forwards. Then you're going to bend your left knee and arms up by the sides of your ears. Just that straightening, left leg, arms forwards, bend. Very good. Then you're going to come up onto your back tiptoe. So your back toes stay on the floor, but you're just gonna lift your right heel away from the floor, and then you're gonna lower your right heel back down onto the ground, just that. Lifting right heel off the floor, lowering right heel back down. One more time, lift it off. You're gonna stay there, you're gonna shift your weight forwards and hug your right knee into your chest, like that. And then you're gonna let your right foot come back down onto the ground. Swapping, your left leg is gonna take a big step back. Your left heel stays connected on the floor. Your hips square to the front. Your right knee is bent. Right leg straightens. And right leg bends. We're gonna reach arms up into the sky. Again, slowly straighten the right leg. Slowly bend, slowly straighten, and bend. We're going to add arms to the front, arms reaching forward, straightening your right leg, bending right, straightening the right, bend the right. Your arm's going to reach up by the sides of your ears with your right knee bent. As you straighten, your arms come forwards. Then bend, arms reaching up by the sides of your ears. You want to let the movement take the whole range of your breath. And exhale, down, inhale, lengthen, straighten. Exhale, bend. Arms up by the sides of your ears, coming onto your back tiptoes. So the left heel reaches up and off the floor, and then the left heel lowers back down. Just that, left heel lifts up, left heel lowers down, left heel lifts, left heel lowers. One more time, the heel lifts up. You're going to keep your weight going forwards, hug your left knee into your chest. Hold it in. Stay there. Oh, nice one over. And release. Shake it out. You're going to keep your left leg to the front and take your right leg a really big step back. Your right foot is going to be parallel to the short edge of your mat. So checking in, same line, foot, same line of the short edge of your mat, and this left foot is going to be in line with the long edges of your mat. You want to stay there. You want to have your arms wide, bend your knees. Stay there and looking over your left fingertips. Then you're going to slowly straighten your left leg. And then you're going to slowly bend your left knee. We're going to add arms. Arms go up this time as you straighten the leg. And then the arms go wide. Bend your left knee. Just doing that. Arms up by the sides of your ears. Bend your left knee. Arms widen. Arms reaching up. Inhale. And arms widen. Then you want to stay here. You're going to lift your left arm up, keep your left knee bent, breathing into your left rib cage, into your left ribs, into your left lung, left side of your heart. Inhale to the spleen. Big breath in, left kidney. Then release your left elbow near your left knee, reach your right arm up and over. And breathing into the right. Inhale and exhale. Right kidney, right rib cage, right side of your lung, the right side of your heart, the liver. Arms widen, stay there. Just staying down in your warrior. Big breath in, big breath out. Then slowly straighten your left leg. You're going to turn your left foot in. You're going to turn your right leg out, arms wide. Then arms going to reach up, straighten your right knee. Bend your right knee, arms widen. Like a big semicircle, arms reaching up, straightening out your right leg. And then arms widen, bend your right knee. One more time. Straighten, inhale, lengthen, exhale, bend. Staying there. The right arm is going to lift. You're going to breathe into this whole right side. Breathing into the right rib cage, right ribs. Breathing into your right side of your lung, the right side of your heart, liver. Breathing into your kidney. Then release your right elbow near your right knee. Left arm going to reach up and over. Breathing into the left rib cage, ribs, the lung, the heart. Breathing into your spleen and into the kidney area. And coming back with your arms wide, straightening out your right leg, turn your right toes in, heel toe your feet maybe slightly closer together, hands on your hips. Begin to extend tailbone away from the crown of the head. That crown of the head is going to reach forwards. Staying here with your spine really long. And then maybe reaching your fingertips down to the ground and stay there for a breath. So both legs are straight, your feet are parallel. Have a little breath here. And you can maybe rock your pelvis slightly forwards and then slightly backwards. Slightly forwards, slightly back, slightly forwards, slightly back. And begin to walk your hands maybe a little bit further in and let your body curl forwards, let your head hang down, rounding out your spine, let everything hang. If you feel like I want to have my feet wider, you can heel toe them slightly further away. If you want to have them closer, bring them closer. Find what works for you and just have a little hang here, a little breath here. Pressing into the outer edges of your feet. Then again, begin to lengthen out your spine, begin to heel toe your feet together until you've got like a squat position. Staying there. To start with, let your spine really round out. If you find it's really hard to get your heels down, you can also roll up your mat. Rest your heels on the rolled up mat. And then really breathe into your pelvis. Into your lower abdomen. And then connect to your creative center. Deep within the pelvic bowl. Maybe even letting your hands come together in front of your heart with your knees, with your elbows on your inner knees. Beginning to allow the line of flow from the pelvic bowl all the way up to the space in between your eyebrows. Letting your creative ideas flow upwards. Coming up with creative ideas to love yourself more. What can I do to help myself heal, be cared for, nourished? What one gift will I give myself today? And then you want to slowly release, let your arms extend and just come and lie down on your back. Hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe with your knees together, maybe with your knees apart. See what your body would like and stay there. Consider the little energy points all the way from the tailbone, where you would have had a tail, up to the crown of your head. And connecting to your energetic body. If you are holding, like me, one wrist on top of the other, place the other hand on top now. And if one foot is on top of the other, place the other foot on top. But maybe you're more aligned than I was. Breathing into all those little energy points. Wherever you can feel energy flowing. And then your arms spread out to the sides. Letting your feet slowly find the floor. Let your knees fall towards your right. Breathing into your left side. If anybody wants to, you can lift your right foot and place it on top of your left knee. And if that hurts your knees, then just keep your feet on the floor. And begin to connect that whole left side of your body. Letting your head also turn towards your left. Letting your knees float towards the sky. Let your knees float towards the left. Let your head turn towards the right and breathing into the right side of your body. feeling the feels along the way. If you were having the left foot, you can place your left foot on your right knee if appropriate, or keep your feet on the floor. Let your head turn back to the center. Let your right foot find your left, and let your right knee fold out to the right. So you've got the soles of your feet together, and you might need to realign a little bit, but your knees wide and your arms wide. And if that is not feeling good today, refrain, stretch your legs out. If it feels great, stay there for a few breaths. And extending your legs whenever you need to. Otherwise, enjoy it. Breathing into the openness. Giving yourself space and time. If your legs are still bent, begin to stretch them out now. Begin to slowly and carefully roll onto your left side. And to use your hands to make your way up to sit. Close your eyes. Feel your spine in this upright position. Connecting tailbone to the crown of your head. Begin to breathe to your tailbone. And just see what you can feel. If you can feel anything. If you can't, not to worry. Make a note. Let it be an area that you might like to spend some time to sit with. Moving to the space just below your navel. Your creative center. Again, making a note of any sensations, or if there aren't any. Moving to the space just above your navel and below your rib cage. Taking some breaths there, making note of what you can feel or can't feel. Moving up further into your heart space, the center of your rib cage. Breathing into that area, making note of what you can feel or can't feel. Making your way a little further up to the space just above your collarbones, your throat. Taking a note of what you can feel or can't feel. Making your way to the space in between your eyebrows. See what you can feel or can't feel. And finally to the one on the crown of your head. Making a note of any sensations you feel or can't feel. Connecting back to the base of your spine and perhaps to the whole line of feels, shifts, feeling connected through your seat. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart and bowing your head to your heart. Stay.